David Morse cop comes into the hospital as a patient with a pretty, how can I put it, humdrum complaint, but a slightly embarrassing one too. And House is very unsympathetic in his usual offhand, not to say cruel manner, makes the mistake of humiliating a man who doesn't take kindly to humiliation. And whereas most of House's victims, well, some of them, of course, don't even know what he's up to, and they sort of retire without even feeling the wound.
Michael Tritter's a tricky character to define. I think he's one of those guys. You know when you're on a highway and someone cuts you off, and your instinct is to follow them and punish them, and like sort of follow them all, even if it takes following them all the way home and cutting them off and beating them up. I think Tritter has that thing of like, I'm sorry, there's some things you do and some things you don't, and House crosses it. The character of Tritter is, I believe, kind of for the audience represents the real world in some sense. That it's basically House, for the first time in our show, I think, meets someone who's not from the House world, who basically says, okay, 89 things you did just now are inexcusable and unacceptable, and you have to make amends. And I think most people sit at home and watch this show and think, you know, how audacious that he would do that or say that. And I think how Tritter represents in some way the public.
But this is a character who feels it very deeply and obviously vows revenge. And when you think about it, cops have an awful lot of ways of exacting revenge, and he takes advantage of most of them.